which I thought was funny. She'll drink a whole pot by herself.
Whew.
Depending on if I don't jump in and drink some of that. I can get 3 to 4 cups of coffee in at their house versus 2 run-throughs with 1 pot here at our house. You can kind of tell how dark their coffee is. I use Black Silk, which is a dark blend of coffee. They use just the Folgers, by the way. They use the Folgers regular in powder form. Where's my Thank you, outlets.
Guys, welcome to the Warlanders live stream. There was something that we really wanted to talk about in the form of what was coming with the BOS update and what we personally don't like about it, because there's a lot to say here.
Snowy.
Well, would you have anything you would like to say about the BOS stuff first, before I go into it? That we were doing.
Right. Well, my problem is the lore. They're using and I know this is completely 100% doable from a company's perspective, because when you make a game of your own, and then you go to a new management or something of a weird way that doesn't let you own your game anymore. The other guy gets it, they can throw the lore out because they're now the creators. According to the lore that's going to be added in to the old Brotherhood of Steel soldier that's from the Appalachian chapter, which is the squad of Brotherhood of Steel that laid down in Appalachia before Reclamation Day. They were Appalachian chapter, nothing. But he does say in some dialogue that, in a way, basically they're coming from Mariposa. And then there's this little dude at that, what's the observatory, little guy right here saying, we gotta help them so much, he's gonna be so sad when we build all this shit for them. And they're not gonna want to have anything to do with it, because, when I hear the word Mariposa, Brotherhood of Steel, I think of Dick Wads and Brotherhood Tactics, the cutscenes of people getting shot in the back of the head while tied up in kneeling position. Extra brutal for no reason at all, just because they have a set of power armor. I think of the sheer bullshit of strength that they don't need. The tyrants, the dictator style of the Brotherhood. And now I'm sitting there thinking, that means they're bringing Elder Maxon in too. I don't want to see that. An abomination, they're everywhere. Look at you. You're like 40s, and it's like not even your time to exist in the lore yet. Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. It's an abomination. My clone.
See, literally. But besides the lore, what really gets me though is Mariposa, Brotherhood of Steel, is coming to visit. Okay? We're being bribed to give shit to the little boy that is helping quote unquote the Brotherhood of Steel. And knowing how the company works, that you're just putting your junk in a crate and it's gone, it doesn't actually go to fixing the building, it just advances. When you do enough with the company and the community helps in a large enough amount, Tiger, but you know what I'm saying? We get a reward every time we donate. And it's like, do I look like the kind of guy that wants to be rewarded every time I do something good? And I told you this yesterday. If I got paid every time I held the door for a lady when I was up and about during the day, it would be a job. It wouldn't be a good gesture. Yet we're getting these little provision crates. They're not that good, but nonetheless we're getting bribed to do it.
Right, we're getting
Tiger.
We're getting completely bribed. We're getting completely bribed with something that let me just tell you guys, spoil you guys ahead. If you're expecting rare loot out of these provision crates, don't even bother, because there's no exclusive loot in it.
Alcohol rare.
Well, that is.
It was funny because when steel was being put in the thing, it was common but easy to get, and the crates then were kind of tuned toward giving your money back worth of steel, so you would kind of get paid from opening the crate every so many opens for all the steel you shoved in it. $2.50 at a time, you get your money back for the steel. But my problem here is, again, I don't want to get bribed to do it. I did my steel run because I had enough steel. Now I don't have enough steel. And they're on, like, what, cork, I think? Alice. Seriously? That's disgusting. It's supposed to be quiet when you fart.
Exactly, Alice.
She's stretching, bro. Okay. Tiger Spider is like, bitch. He's got that face like a bitch. Tiger. Look at that fucker. He's like a bitch. He slapped her and she walked off. And he's like, fucker. I'm sorry,
Tiger.
Tiger.
Oh yeah, just let me show you the kind of setup I got here. I'm currently screen recording, but this is what I've got.
Yeah, okay, that's nice. But again, with the thing, it's how it is. I don't want to get bribed to do it.
Right.
I already know how this is going to end up. You know, I was with them for a little bit at the company, more than a Vault-Tec rep for a long time, and I quit because I wasn't enjoying their, I guess you call it, business pattern and their pathway they were taking as far as game. And it's all playing out like I was worried about. When I left, I was worried about the shit that's happening right now. The updates that are not fill-in updates over actual fixing patches. And the patch note comes in, it's like, oh, hey, here's another update in the patch note instead. Have fun. And it's like nothing really gets fixed. I was worried about that when I left, and it's still happening. So, Brotherhood's coming in here about like September. And, you know, it's kind of funny how that works. Amber's birthday was on Wastelanders, or a day after Wastelanders dropped. We celebrated with her on that day. But she made a good point, though. Why did they need to make another update as big as it was, and the system can't even handle itself anyways? Now, at the time, it wasn't that bad.
Right, it wasn't
But she
nearly
made
that
a
bad.
good point as a foreshadowing, technically. Flat out seeing that this is going to happen. She pulled a Clover, I guess you could say. And she's right. They didn't need to do Wastelanders. They did it because it was well anticipated. Fine with me, I guess, because you stop progress, but if progress doesn't help the overall cause, it just does one part of the cause, I would say you were better off not doing it. And like I said, we don't need the BOS to come over here and give them all our stuff. They did a great reward that's rare. They need to come over here, give me a fucking 9mm 1911 pistol, and then fix the game's problems. Then you can go crazy. You know, if you have to get a new game engine, I know they're probably not going to do that for a long time, but they could probably get something a little bit newer, not modern, but newer than the creation, and then it'll work a lot more smoothly. I'm worried that when the BOS gets here, we're going to have lots more fuck-ups. Given the Wendigo event has been launched, and people are already getting killed in the game, and because of the way the event starts of a 8-person thing, if you're number 9, you're in a thing all your own. Okay? You're nuking to get in. Well, when you go in, it seals itself back off, and the nuke zone just kind of it just makes a swirling sound that I can't believe it makes. In a way, it makes a swirling noise when wind is swirling around it. You can't go back in. So if you die, it does that respawn issue where it makes you find a place to spawn to. You can't go back in the mine, which it seems to happen with everyone. What's worse, bloody builds are going to be the most fucked. They have low health. And there's a hell of a lot of things in that area that will kill every person in there on the ground. It opens up, it releases a goo or something, kind of like orange goo, maybe some green goo, that hurts you over the more you stand on it. So if you stand on it, you're taking like 1 or 2 to health damage. If you're wearing armor, it'll probably melt that fucker down. That's why I'm glad I got that perk card where if I get hit or it'll repair itself or something.
It has a chance to repair itself. greatly at that.
Right. Which I don't understand how that works. I kind of think that's another video in itself. Is the Vault-Tec perk cards technologically advanced and still cards? Or is it all a mental state? And the card just smells like opioids or something. It makes you trip it out so much you just think it works.
I don't think it can be scientifically explained at this point.
I think that's a video for another channel, if you ask me, to get that bit of war in there. But, we'll see. But I just wanted to mention that the BOS is just we're getting bribed by the company.
Right. I'm also I just wanted to mention this beforehand.
Of the goal? Did you get a picture of the goal by chance?
No, but I do remember what it was. It was like for the steel. I think it was like 1 million, wasn't it?
It's around 1 million. It's around the same thing for each one. Maybe a little bit bigger, and everyone has to pitch in to do this. And it's funny because I was watching Juicehead about it recently, and when it first went down, he's like, I'm hoping to see the whole community pitch in and do more than enough on the goal, because you can succeed that goal. Like they did with Christmas, the Christmas event. People only did that Juicehead because there was something rare in there. Once people found out that you were just basically being bribed to give your shit away, a lot of people kind of quit, honestly. That I'm guessing. I don't see a whole lot of people going over there in like clusters like my whole
I barely see anybody over there.
That's my point. They don't want to be bribed. I don't think anyone wants to be bribed to do something like that. Given, like I said, they're coming from Mariposa, they're more than enough capable of taking over Appalachia by force and kicking everyone's ass and then making it a kingdom. The Mariposa Brotherhood still can definitely do that.
Here's my point on this.
That's the BOS that bombed the Enclave Mobile Traction Base. It has a horrible strike link with Kovac. That was the BOS Mariposa. So why the fuck are we putting all of our hopes and dreams by giving them offerings to our new gods to get rewards in return when they're just going to come in here and they're probably not for storyline's sake, but I'm just saying, think about it like lore is real life. According to what the Mariposa group did, they could just fuck Reclamation Day. I'm gonna level you bastards with the biggest nuke you've ever seen. I'll drop a Tsar bomb on y'all's little vault, and West Virginia will no longer exist. Just think about that for a minute. That they could do something like that. Not really. Tsar bomb is the biggest bomb in the world made by Russia. They get a Fallout's equivalent of it. There you go. If they wanted to, they could level everyone here, make it void of all life, come back later when it's all over, and build up a new society through, I guess, incest and rebreeding and I don't even know what. Maybe move some people from New Vegas in or something. But we know that for story purposes they won't. But that's what I mean. Why would we be giving them stuff when they can get it themselves?
Exactly. I don't. When you're doing a good deed for being bribed. Okay, when you're being bribed to do a good deed, you get something. You get something from doing a good deed immediately. You get something that's small. But if you do a good deed out of the goodwill of your heart, there's a chance. It's not always going to happen. Right? You shouldn't expect it, but there's always a good chance that good deed will come back around. You got to be willing to be good on the chance that you won't get that deed back. You gotta be willing to.
If I'm expecting anything, because I didn't give a whole lot of my steel. I pulled out about 1,250, and I just popped them off until I ran out. That little chunk I had of like 4K. Now I'm kind of starting to run low on that steel. And in hindsight, that was kind of a stupid idea to me when we had like 1 million people playing this fucking game or something like that, and now all of a sudden we're having less and less every day. Someone's leaving. I figured I probably am not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to pitch in anymore because I don't need the extra loot it's going to give me back. I'm so stocked on other resources that those boxes will give you that I don't need them. So I'm just going to fuck off, and I'm going to let the community do it because, again, I'm kind of coming back. if they just add the 9mm called the Springfield 1911 pistol, the one that was used in World War II. Actually, really, 1911. That's the year that was launched. It would be also
exactly.
World War I. I'd also say, but you know what I mean. If they bring that in as a new reward for something else in the game, that you can get it for, like, as a reward for helping. Alice, please stop farting. Stop. Go upstairs. There you go. Tiger looked like her like bitch. Amber fed her some beans yesterday.
Oh God!
Beans. And she's like, "Oh yes."
Beans.
Alice is not that intelligent. She gnawed that sucker down. She ate the whole fucking, not the whole can literally, but she ate everything in it. And it's been doing it all morning. But see, I would like to see the pistol. I already showed you this yesterday. The hint that there is a 9mm ammo that could be put in a machine for a reward to steal from the fertilizer that's probably empty. There's a steal from option, but you have to get it from the terminal, which you can't do anything with. I think they put that in from beta. This is like way before. Hey, let's make a battle royale game out of Fallout. Way before that. It's like beta before this has been a thing. And I keep missing these AMAs because I would like to see them use that. That'd be an ammo type I think is needed. We don't need another laser gun. We don't need another gun skin. I want to see a 9mm 1911 firearm with the options to be 45. Like, do one that, like, you know, has very little upgrades. Basically, there's no skin paints needed. There is, it'd be 9mm 45, and you could probably modify, like, the sight to have glow if you really were that ballsy. There are a few guns in this game that do that. You know, like the harpoon gun. It gets mods for the fletchets and a few other things. And you get a receiver to make it prime. And then you get a grip, one grip mod, and one sight mod. It doesn't alter the gun so dramatically like...
Actually, I think there is an extra sight mod. There's a scope. But
well, let's just say it's like... Oh, there is. There's two. But what I'm saying is you get one category. There's not like... It's not like long scope, short scope, recon scope, iron sight, or reflex sight. It's a type of sight on a stick, or it's scope, or nothing. It's not as dramatic as, again, like I was going to mention before, getting combat rifle, or the assault rifle with what I call a car muffler with a firing system, and it come with hundreds of different mods, it seems like. Or the submachine gun that I use for my 10mm, where it has the clip mod, it has several different barrel mods, it has like, you get these guns that have like 30 different mod types, or 32 in some of them. We don't need all that. And some of it just physically changes the gun overall. You know, I was kind of stuck on the 10mm mod yesterday for the pistol. But see, if they change it to a 1911, give us a 9mm, and I'll go. I'll drive. I'll fly. I'll have to go jump through hoops for you fuckers. But they don't, and they won't. This is a game that's 25 years post-apocalypse, a long time after World War II. Yeah. And yet they've only put a few guns in the game that are true to that lore. And something tells me that they're not interested.
You know, in this game, we mentioned before the divergence and the fact that you basically are carrying around a bunch of World War II weapons, or weapons that were used in World War II, and apparently still exist in the game, game's lore, like were manufactured not too long ago. Because when you pick up an MG42, it ain't rusted all that hell. It's got a little bit of rust on it, but it still looks like it's pretty maintained. So it had to be at least
German MGs.
Right. It had to be at least maybe.
One.
Right. And then there's the German. Yeah, there's that, and then there's
Thompson.
The 50 cal machine gun, which was kind of a World War II weapon. It was strapped on the top of tanks and vehicles and all kinds of stuff.
Some planes had them. Some doesn't. B-17 rocked that for a long time. The 50 cal. There's that, and then you got to remember the single shot grenade launcher was a demolitions thing for World War II, but you didn't see that a whole lot. You didn't see it a whole lot. George took the 40 mil grenade rounds. That was it was kind of like walking around with a flamethrower on your back. The canisters. It was not seen a lot, but the flamethrower, though more deadly, got more love, and the boom, shoot, boom. It wasn't as fun, but the iron sights made a hell of a big comeback since Western times on that gun. When you hear the word iron sights, I don't think a lot of people think of black powder rifle iron with the actual iron sight that's adjustable. You think of two guns, the Mauser P08 or the single shot grenade launcher, the M whatever you mentioned, M79 grenade launcher rifle. Both of which had an iron sight that you could adjust trajectory that let you shoot, high, low. Sadly, on the M79, it doesn't actually work. I would like to see that. Like, if you aimed, it would flip up or something. I would like
to do range adjustment.
Like I said, if we get a couple things like an M1 Grand, no scopes needed. You can make it a bolt action if you want, but get us one of those. Don't even make it legendary. Just introduce the keepsake, where it's basically they just added cursed weapons into the game, so I know they can add, a hero modifier or something. Veteran where it boosts, where as you shoot it, it does something to you while you're using that gun. Ain't nothing killing them from giving us a 9mm 1911 firearm with the ability of like some kind of random legendary type that they just gave a shell pickaxe or harpoon gun and some other random gun with the cursed ability attached to it, which I don't know what it really does. I think according to Juicehead, if I remember right, it kills the gun quicker. It makes the cursed harpoon gun is a glass cannon. It's basically a glass cannon. If you know what that is. If you don't, you'll have to look it up. Because the BOS, there's nothing stopping the BOS. They're coming from fucking Mariposa, which is a military base. So their odds of having a 9mm pistol of any kind and other weapons that don't exist here that are native to this game, odds are there's some of those that they should snatch up and take with them, right?
Right, exactly.
If you don't, that's Todd's fault. Again, this is kind of why, but yesterday I mentioned in your video, I've lost all hope for the game. Because there's nothing stopping them from doing it, but again, they're not doing it because it's not making them that big fat stacks of green.
And they're not doing it because it's too much work for them to do it.
They just want to make their updates and do their own thing, and by God, you better spend a fuck ton of money on it, or risk getting banned. I mean, like I said, playing it, you risk getting banned, but it's just how it is, I guess. I don't think they really give a damn about what's really happening. Like I said yesterday after the video, it sickens me to think that ZeniMax knows what they're doing and isn't stopping them. Just have to think about that. That's a possibility. It makes me so sick to know the parent company could possibly know about what they're doing and is not stopping them on purpose because they're getting paid under the table or something less dramatic, like they're making the money too, off royalties or something.
I mean, they would make the money too anyways because they're the parent company. They would be getting whatever money Bethesda gets as well.
And I will, and to say, I think the company's doing the best they can. They might as well shoot me in the foot if I said that. I meant it. Just shoot me in the fucking foot because there's no reason to say that. Like I said, they're far beyond the nut up or shut up phase, and they're doing both, but they're shoving us in the corner and saying that now it's your time to sit in time out and play the game, and don't say anything else about it. Play our game. They don't want to. They're going to nut up, and then they're not going to say jack shit, and they're going to do their thing. And then if you have a problem, they'll just ban you. End of story. It's completely unnecessary. They don't need to do that, but they're doing it anyways. They don't need the BOS, but they're doing it anyways. They need to fix the game's problems and be more calm and collected with the community. But they're giving us shit updates anyways.
But they need to tone it back a bit, like it was with what they did with Wastelanders, and hold it off for another year or so to get some stability updates in the way.
Please, guys. It wouldn't hurt you to shut some shit down and actually do a full respec of the game. I know some of those companies or members are back in the business doing their job. I know, but someone over there has to be doing something. Someone even at home could go get the fucking game and check it out. It's funny because if I recall correctly, the company members don't even play the game anymore. They just make their updates. They ignore everybody else when it comes time to, hey, this game's busted. Make sure it's your fault before you message us again. Thank you, bye. Decoding. Please don't message us again. We don't give a fuck. Bye. Just decode that into their own little language. They don't care. They don't care. If you hate your company so much to the point where you make automated message alerts and emails, that shows how much you don't care. They ain't busy. They're not busy. They're busy, but they're not so busy that they can't answer a couple emails to bridge the gap. They're not that busy. Each one of them has a clock they run on before they have to go home. So they're not busy. It wouldn't kill you to run a bit of overtime to check out some shit. And yeah, I would have done it if I was something bigger than what I was when I was with them. I would have gladly sat down with an email and individual back and forth and looked into their problem against if someone told me not to. Because I know it would make that person happy, knowing that at least someone in the company gives a damn. I hate the idea of them having to use automated alerts. And what do you think about all this bullshit, everything?
I think the automated fucking messages
How do you
are
feel about
ridiculous.
having a nuke? Yeah, I know that they have the option to push a button and blow off something, so you don't need to have to nuke. But on your mind, when the event that gives you flame tokens, well, literally, you push a button when the event starts and blow a hole in the mine to open it back up. It's like warning, breach in process. Please stand back. And you go, and it falls down and you can go in. Ain't nothing stopping you from doing that. And you're gonna die if you get stuck in there, just like that event. By the way, the cave classes, you're fighting this Indigo Colossus, so you might get killed if you get stuck in there, and you might just lose all the shit you picked up. So we're gonna have a lot of issues. I won't be doing that event. I won't be playing the game if I can help it, because that pisses me off. Because I've gotten stuck on many occasions playing the game, getting overcumbered by the game when the event ends, and then getting stuck in that mine and dying and losing all the shit that made me overcumbered because I needed it. But because I got stuck in by some reason, an enemy, or we didn't get the notification until late, whatever it is, we lost all that stuff. You know, it's like going into a Scorched Earth event and then getting stuck with that one player that decides to hit you with a fuck ton of glitched weapons. You're not PvP, you're a pacifist mode. You just died and he just jibs your shit and runs off. That's what happened to me in my last nuke run event. Dude had a glitched weapon of some sort. Flat out, didn't stop him. My pacifist mode didn't bother him. He pushed past that, and I lost all of my loot that I got for that event because of that player. He even messaged me, thanks for the jump, dumbass. Put your shit up next time the event ends. I was doing that when he attacked me. I was heading over there.
Let's literally not forget Fasnacht. That was a fucking can of worms and a half. with certain people. Blocking off the goddamn event with power armor. What are you trying to gain at that point?
I like words.
What are you doing for doing that?
Oh, yeah.
You just piss people
I know
off.
exactly what you're talking about. Right? But it stops the event.
And
People use that to say, give me 30K or I'll drop the event.
Or drop all your loot that you have right now.
Or free 30K or the event ended.
That was so stupid.
Like I said, it's just not worth it. I won't be playing Fallout during any of the times. We could feel free to finish off this video if you got anything else to say, but I'm not going back to Fallout no more. It's going to be officially and permanently on my list of games to never go back to, no matter how good they say it is or how good it gets, how much fixed it actually gets. I will not go back.
This is something else I have to say. Now, I mentioned first time. That wasn't the only thing they did with the power armor. Some of them would just straight up not even do their fucking job. Some of them would straight up like just pussy up in the corner of the roof. That one dude with the fucking...
Don't forget about the power armor. That certain power armors in the game are currently, right now, are removing your radiation protection. If you get the junkyard power armor, it'll cut your radiation out of your suit, no matter if it was made to do it or not.
That was really
Just remember that.
But also...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They're hot on the roof of their power.
Yeah, and they'd also play almost like an explosive...
And attack them.
Right, explosive, splittered...
I held up that event.
Fucking laser guns.
Right. Very last day, I saw 6 people on the roof. I put a whole 6 different chassis on the ground. I said, and I was in area chat, get off the fucking roof, or I will end that fight. I shot at them, I shot at the ground. People were very pissed off at me for doing so, but I told them I didn't give a fuck. You should have not been doing what you were doing. There was no reason to. There's no reason to be standing on the roof at all. There's also no reason to be, taking all the kills as they were doing as they were on the roof. I told them, I don't care. Report me, I don't care. It won't bother me a bit because you were the one doing wrong. I was doing everyone a favor. Technically I was, though, because everyone else was mad too. But some dude even said, even though you screwed it up for me, thanks. Because I get sick of looking at people on the roof too. But I got lots of thank yous from players. But again, like I said, it's just not needed. It's completely unnecessary. But Flashlight's coming back this year, and I would be expecting it to happen again. It's Bethesda we're talking about, so it'll probably happen again. I'm willing to really bet on it. That's gonna happen again. People are going to do that again. Midweek's supposedly in the game right now as we speak. I haven't seen it yet. I'm not going to go bother with it. I don't give a damn. Midweek was fun.
I might go do Midweek.
Real quick, people grinded it.
I'm not going to fucking do that, but I might go do Midweek.
But you haven't done Midweek before. I would recommend doing it at least once for you.
Right, and I want to do it more than once, but I don't recommend. I'm not gonna.
It's not worth grinding.
Right, I'm not gonna grind it a shit ton. But I also have some good news. Right. So I got my Adams today.
She's pregnant.
Like literally while we were doing this stream, I got my Adams, and I just popped it in the legendary run. I have like 6 or 7 more tiers until I'm done. Be fucking done with that damn board game.
I mean, what do you got left though?
I said 6 or 7 tiers until I'm done with the board game.
Oh, okay. Well, good. It's great.
I'm just about done.
You should get enough Adams all along the way. I won't be playing it no more like you. Like I said, I'm letting Sabrina right now play on the Xbox.
Okie doke.
There's not really much else to do.
Right.
So even this game, even Grand Theft Auto has screws. You got a 5% discount in shops for receiving a 90% good behavior report from your peers. That's understated all to hell, but it's fair compared to, hey, if you drop 90% of your loot in this box right now, we'll give you a free loot box for each drop.
And you can get up to 500 counts.
Go to hell.
Yeah,
You know,
fucking
it's,
beautiful. When
but yeah, but here's the sad part. You got your caps once. There was no guarantee you would get more caps.
right, you would get like 25, 25, 25.
Sabrina. Did Sabrina get the White House yet recently? The one down by the airport? Because one of her cars is missing. The one that...
I think she did, yes. She got the garage down there.
The one that... If she bought a warehouse, I just don't remember. I'm just saying, I think she ended up doing so. Yeah, she has a warehouse. Never mind, it's in there. I was just wondering, because she has like a 2-car garage, only one car in it, so I was just checking. But yeah, like I said, it's just not worth the effort, you know? To be truly honest, watching my child play GTA, or just playing GTA myself, it's a hell of a lot more fun than fucking anything else in the game. God, Fallout was never this fun, where you could get a cute little bike or a car and drive it around, until later games that are considered older than this game. You could get it you could get it all you want in the other Fallout games, but after that, no, you're done. You're done, buddy. You're not getting that no more. By 76, this is the first one in the franchise. As Todd literally just half-assed it. It'll be, again, you didn't just do your job. To be able to, you might as well sit there, because that's all the game really did. It took the bringing NPCs back for it to look like you've done something. To actually get that look like, hey, you didn't fuck yourself. You actually did something now. I'm so proud of you. You did something. You know, something like that.
You got the gold. I knew you could do it.
Yeah, fuck you, man. It's just how it is, I guess. But I find it depressing, if anything. Like I said, I'd just rather watch my own child play the video games than actually play them anymore, to be truly honest with you. Fallout ruined gaming for me, because that's the only game I can go back to with a somewhat less toxic community. And then here we are right now, she's playing a game that's really fucking toxic, is the people will do wrong and then tell the company to piss off. Yet, I'm having more fun watching her be calm and play the game. Because she's just savage enough to tell someone the same thing. Sabrina don't take no bullshit from nobody. I know you know that too. You know how she is. She go tell someone to eat a dick. They mess with her. And then promptly make them do so if it got to it. But she don't bother nobody. And so she kind of gets angry when people bother her. She didn't like Fallout. She's enjoying this game because it gives you a pacifist mode, and she doesn't bother nobody. So it kind of gives her a lot more fun. She likes the fact of driving cars too. She was joking with me yesterday, like, nah, Dad, I'm better driver than you. And she plows in, or someone plows in her, and that one doesn't count. They were not driving right. She has so much fun. And I like it that she's having more fun playing video games than I do, because I wasn't really. I am a gamer, but I wasn't really. So I wasn't like Amber, where I can play an hour and then fuck off and go read. But over the bullshit that's been happening recently, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm gonna let the kids have the Xbox. There's no reason for me to, there's no reason anymore. It's over. Like I said, there's no reason anymore to just play and have fun. Every game, what was it? Did we make a video on that games nowadays are just not, they're not made to have fun anymore. They're made to push an agenda.
Right, we did that.
And your new form of fun is, your new form of fun is forcing you into shit that you don't want to get into is paying lots of money on the game you already bought. Doing all the grinding every fucking day. That's the new form of fun nowadays. And that's kind of why I like GTA. Yeah, it was grindy, but it wasn't gonna fuck you if you didn't. There's still ways to get just barely enough money to pay for your rent. See, Sabrina doesn't have that bundle right now. Well, she does, but she doesn't have the business set up. Therefore, all she's got is her little house with her little car, and then she just bought a 4-door, so in case you and some friends get on, like other crew members, she'll have a car for everyone to ride in. So she has two 2-door cars and one 4-door car. And she's just fine with that. There's no, like me, where you're paying a fucking $1,000 an hour, or not an hour, a whole in-game day, unless you just made 2K for, I guess, at this thing. So it's a lot easier for her. And she got it in pink too. She got the BJ. It reminds me of the Jeep Renegade in a way. And she got it in the pink. It comes in. She likes that pink, bro. It looks like a fucking Jeep Renegade. It literally looks like a Jeep Renegade. That's fucking hilarious, guys. And the only thing that they changed is the back. The front screen is, hey, I'm a Jeep Renegade. It really is a Karen. It's a Karen, BJ. God, you're a Karen now. But yeah, like I said, it's just like I said before. It's pretty bad gameplay when I'm the one who's leaving the games, but I enjoy playing. I should, and I mentioned this many times before, I should never have to get in a video game and worry that someone's going to tear my shit up because they got mad at me a few days earlier. You know? But every time we meet a new person on Fallout, it's like, they eventually get pissed and they go, fuck you guys, I'm going to leave. And then they leave and it's like, because it's happened to us before, and I'm like, fuck, they're going to come screw me now because I decided to, in some shape, form, or fashion, piss them off. And now I'm the one that's going to be in danger, you know. And I don't like this thought of that. I really don't. To think that they could screw me just because they want to. You know. Just thinking about it makes me worry. And it's like, do I really, really, really need to worry about it? Yes. I worry about it every fucking day, and I shouldn't have to, but I do.
But you shouldn't have to worry about the shit that you worry about, but it happens anyway, because shit has legitimately happened before. We've had to disband so much shit because people just won't leave us the fuck alone. Just recently, before I left from my vacation, I had to disband the fucking Discord because guess what? Someone not too friendly got a hold of to Gas's daughter's Sabrina's account, and
it was putting everyone else at risk.
Right.
They used her account to threaten you, didn't they?
Yeah, they were being very fucking threatening about it.
So that's what I mean, though. It's unacceptable. It's unnecessary, but they did it. They didn't hesitate to do it at all. And it's like, why would anyone want to do that? But they still did it. I mean, they still did it. And that's what worried me. They still were willing to do it. And it really scared me to think that, wow, my friend could get his ass beat by some rando because, you know, he decides to give me your shit or else, you know. I read those messages after a while, and that's how I knew who it was. I knew who was thinking that. Because he wanted more out of you than anyone else. I mean, the way they were speaking just told me I know exactly who that is because the way they were acting. I just knew. That should never happen, though. You know, that should never be a thing.
That should never be even an option to think about it. I mean, you know, to have to worry about this being a legitimate circumstance was far off the line of there's a problem.
I'm sorry it had to happen, but I told you to get rid of the chat so we wouldn't run that risk. I know you trust me on that too. I did it so if something happened, this individual couldn't just sit there and tear up your shit, you know? Because, like I said, it doesn't take long before someone can go through one account and just server hop. Basically the nutshell of a server hop, and they just exist. Like, oh boy, your shit's mine now, boyo. I'm gonna hack into everything you got. You know, and all I had to do is let him into one game. Let him into one game with you, or something of that nature, and it's over. And it worried me to think that all they had to do was go from my account to, they went through hers to mine, and that's when I said just go and get rid of it. But they didn't even have to interact with each other, the devices. Right. He just did it. So I'm glad we turned it off, but I'm also very sad that we had to.
Right,
but
I'm sad that we had to because we had
it's safer.
Right. But I did announce to everyone what was going on. This dude is giving me a ride in his car. He pulled up on me, and I was like, I wanted to get in his car, and he's like,
hey, look, a guy.
It was locked. And he's like, and then he opens the door for me. I'm like, okay. Then I started rubbing on his car, basically. I did the, the point emote kind of thing, where you double click like
what
would be the
delicious. Can I lick it?
And I started rubbing his car with my finger, and he opens the door. I'm like, okay.
Are you in the world?
Into this dude's arena. Yeah, I'm just in a random world right now. You can join if you want, or she can join if she wants.
Yeah, but I'm letting her play because again, I don't want to play no more. So,
right.
Like I said, I lost interest way before. I'll play with Grand Theft Auto and stuff, but I won't play Fallout. You know, at least Grand Theft Auto will, in a way, listen to their customers and consumers, because there was things that I've seen that people have been wanting in Grand Theft Auto, like the nerfing of one vehicle. That was consumer related.
Oh.
They nerfed some kind of hover car or something that looks like that talking car from that 90s movie. Can't remember what it's called. But that's in here, and that was nerfed because they had rockets and machine guns and a parachute, a bunch of other BS attached to it. And I guess people got tired of it, having all this stuff. And then the oppressor showed up after that one vehicle was nerfed. I don't see them nerfing anything else anytime soon, sadly. But I just thought it was funny because they nerfed that vehicle, and now people are going to the oppressor as their go-to harassment weapon. It's now a sexual harassment within itself now to play Grand Theft Auto with an oppressor, and not even consider once, I'm going to screw these people. You know, it's just at that point it's just a sexual harassment. That's all it is. You know, you're just sexually harassing them.
But it's fucking ridiculous the shit that happens, but it happens nonetheless.
Don't do that. Oh, seriously, Aim? My daughter was trying to make sure she was in pacifist mode, and when she went to it, it just flat out disabled it when she was trying to hit the B button and hit out, and it disabled her passive. So now she's going to be in a little bit of a danger for the next little bit while she tries to get to you, I guess. It takes 6 seconds or more for it to end pacifist mode, but she can't get in it for another 4. I thought that was kind of stupid. Because it's the game's fault. She's going to go to your house, I guess.
Okay.
I don't really can't think of where to take her to let her go to, so I was going to let her go to your house instead.
Actually, could she come pick me up from this dude's, from the Arena War area?
Yeah. She'll have to go right through the dankest part of town, but I don't think she minds. She'll be risking her life for it, though. Guess she gets to wait 4 minutes before she can reactivate pacifist mode. And it's the game's fault that happened, though. That's what makes me kind of a little triggered. It's the game's fault completely. Because she didn't tell it to turn off pacifist mode. She still got 3 minutes and 36 seconds to finish that. And there are people where she is, so just don't panic. Somebody calm down. She's having a little bit of a small panic attack, because again, she doesn't bother nobody, but she gets really irritated when people show up and bother the fuck out of her. But she knows people will do it. It makes her slightly agitated, knowing that people will and won't hesitate to do so. They'll do it on purpose, you know. She's on her way. As soon as it goes off, she has 2 minutes, 58 seconds left. So, home sweet home. But it's like a Jeep Renegade. The front screams at the back. I don't know what they were doing. I mean, it's a Karen car, a Kareen, but it's really a Jeep Renegade. But the back looks not like a Jeep Renegade. Where the Jeep Renegade had two tail lights, and they had like X. It was engraved into the car's body, and they had like engraved X's for the tail light, not just a regular circular tail light. You know what that did? What that does? Have your tail lights custom made to a shape and not a circle. It gets people's attention a lot quicker to stop. X also is used for stop, and when it seems how a vehicle is technically made as a civ off-roading unit for like rock climbing and shit, it makes a hell of a lot more sense to make it like LED or wherever I think is what it is. It's supposed to be like super fucking bright or something. That's so much smarter given it's made to do that, basically. You got a minute and 50 seconds. Really gotta wait. She's really edgy about it. About the lack of... And that's not the first time it's happened for this account. It's happened to me a lot of times, too, where I would bump into the ring of some public mission, and it would say, you can't be in pacifist mode to participate in this event. And I just sat there, got ready to move my car, but the game kind of, you know, it lags a little bit when you go AFK. If you go into your Xbox thing to see if your friends are on to invite them, when you get back, your game's going to act a little strange. Well, there's already a dude just shoot shit. God, there's already a dude out and about with a jet. But, you know.
This person, I believe, was being awful nice to me. He offered me a ride to his arena war. Now he's sitting here waiting for me to get back in his car. I told him I was waiting on something. And then he sent me a message, TT.
TT? What'd you say, GT?
I said TT. Sent me TT.
Oh, dang. TT, that's... Talk to you later. So TT, wow. That's just like... I guess like thanks, see ya, I guess. Oh, that's true, I don't know. I can't figure out what these... Some of these things you could probably ask Kate about. Maybe Clover. Once you finally learn enough English to speak human, non-French human, she's learned a lot of weird, you know, American things like text lingo, and she says that talking in emojis is like getting stage 4 cancer. You're already going to be in trouble for it. It's enabled. Yay! I guess she enabled it. Enable pacifist mode. There you go. We're on our way, though.
All I know is
I think she's enjoying her little Jeep, though.
Right. But all I know is they sent me a friend request on the game. I was like, okay.
You can accept it if you want it. It might be useful to our group, but like I said, I don't plan on doing any more LFGs anymore for groups, for games like this, because even the most kind-hearted people, for some reason, tend to have sinister motives. I mean, that's why the story goes. No deed goes unpunished. It kind of follows. It follows behind the phrase "You're damned if you don't." That's really where those two phrases hit home. You do a good deed, but someone's going to say you're a bad person for doing it. They're going to say you had a sinister motive to look nice. That's why no good deed goes unpunished, because there's always going to be one person that's going to be like, hey, you just did that to make yourself look nice. Fuck you. You know, they're just mad because they didn't do it, or they didn't think of it. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You do a good deed, someone's going to get mad at you. If you don't do it, you're an ass. I mean, you know, that happens a lot in day-to-day life, though. If you do, you're damned if you don't. Especially on games like this. And it's great for Sabrina, because again, she doesn't bother people, but she'll get con banned for weeks, man. She'll tell someone to go eat a Tide Pod and get a second course of bleach, and she will. If she had any hand in it, she'd probably make them do it. I mean, that's how Sabrina is, because she doesn't bother people, and she sleeps all day over here. And she's not the kind of girl to show up and be like really fucking mean to people on purpose. Like, as she says, humans are so stupid and weird, they go out of their way extra to cause this problem. But they go out of their way. And she's like, well, hybrid's always the ones that are so smart, because none of my daughters are, and they're all hybrids, and none of them ever go out of their way to talk to anybody. When I take them places, they go sit in a corner, oftentimes together. They won't go and they won't sit down to another guy, girl that's not like them. They'll stay together. I have choice. And I get that. And I understand why they do it. Because what Sabrina says makes sense. People just go out of their way to be nuisances, assholes. Fill in blank here. But even if they do act like they're friendly, the dude we recently got rid of was friendly looking. He acted so friendly. And then you got on it, it was like he treated us like absolute shit.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about too. That fucking soy sauce.
Honk honk.
Honk honk. Hi.
Honk.
The dude in the red, if you see the dude in the red,
wrong car.
I know.
Wrong by, what the actual fuck?
Sorry, I see it. Peek peek.
Don't get in if you're wanted.
I'm not wanted.
Gonna be in a minute though. How did you fuck that one up?
I don't know. I'm just
how do you not know?
I just saw the marker nearby and I was like, oh wait, car.
You killed a guy in a black car. She's driving a pink Jeep. How do you not know what you just did? Where are we on?
Take me to the casino. But if you see a dude in a red vigilante car, that was the dude that picked me up. or female, you know, he or she.
They picked you up.
Yeah, they picked me up.
Okay. Got the perps cape. But yeah, that's what she doesn't really bother people, but it worries me when the game screws itself up and it causes a problem like that. It makes her have a mini panic attack because she knows, as on the way over here we had to go to Fort Zancudo in a tunnel under Fort Zancudo, and was the first thing she saw a dude in a fighter jet tearing stuff up. She started gripping the controller really fucking tight, man. It was making crackling noises. It scares her to know that there's the guy. There he goes.
That person just fucking booked it. Holy shit.
That was him. That was the guy in the vigilante.
Damn.
Yeah, that's rocket power. You didn't know that car was rocket powered?
I mean, I figured, but God, that went fast. Even for rocket powered. That was a...
Yeah. I borrowed one of his when they were showing it off, and he let me try it. His helm, he had one that was chrome painted. It does go. It's like excessively to the moon rocket speed as an extra bonus. You're gonna crash that fucker.
You're gonna crash into something eventually with that thing. That was so fast, though. Thank you for the ride, Sabrina. But other than that, I think we said what we needed to say. So I think I'm gonna end this video.
I guess.
Thank you for being here.
I'm surprised you were still recording.
Yeah. But thank you for being here.
Look forward to our next stream, everyone. We're gonna be doing that, I'm sure, soon.
Maybe not a stream, it might just be a normal video. It doesn't really matter what we do, but...
I think we should do another Twitch stream later on sometime.
Okay, yeah, look forward to a Twitch stream. we'll be doing stuff there. See you there, guys. I'll see you in the next